Today I brought 9 of my urethane balls ranging from 2019 Kentucky Purple Hammers to overseas urethane, and I'm going to see which one is the best. I've seeded 8 of them into a bracket and they will compete in a 2-ball total pinfall roll-off against each other. We will see why that one's the best, or maybe if I have a new favorite. I'm gonna start with the 2019 Kentucky Purples, and this ball is the first urethane I ever drilled, and I have had quite a few games on this, and it will go against my other 19 Purple that I drilled relatively recently. I've gone away from this Purple Hammer a little bit just because it is a 19 Purple and they're a little bit cleaner through the fronts typically, and I throw it a little bit too hard sometimes. Now I'll throw the other 2019 Purple, which is drilled to be a little bit stronger, so we'll see if this one picks up where the other one didn't and ends up getting a strike. Not a good sign for my original Purple. That one looked pretty good, and this one's gonna need a strike to have a chance. Gonna go a little bit slower, a little bit more rev rate. Well, it was a little bit slower, a little bit more rev rate, but still kind of struggled to get around the corner. As you'll see throughout this video, no urethane balls are bad, but they definitely have their time, and with my higher ball speed, I can make some of these work a lot more often than others. I might have to get rid of that pin. A little timeout for the one Purple. As I was saying, probably nothing. So we'll just throw the shot and see. Well, that Purple wins. Wow. What a start to the roll-offs. The next matchup starts with my 2024 Strong Purple Pin Purple Hammer. This one tends to hook a bit, but most of it's hooked pretty early. Got all 10 down, but not too convincing. That's where you can see a difference, where the 19 Purples had a little bit more length. That one hooked a little bit earlier, and yeah, I got all 10 down, but it definitely wasn't as continuous. In comparison, we have a weak layout on a 2021 Green Pin Purple Hammer. This one's gonna get a bit more forward, and I'm gonna have to move a little bit right for this one. You can kind of see the weak layout on the urethane ball. It still hooks pretty early, but it kind of lays off and gets forward down lane, so it forces me right, and then sometimes it'll hook a little too early and go through the face. We'll see if this one can shut the other one out. 5x4 by -1's got to be my favorite layout on a urethane ball. That's what's on that Strong Purple, and I'm not really giving any chances to the weak layout. Now we have the 78 hardness balls going against each other. I have a 15 and a 16 pound. This one's a stronger layout, this one's a weaker layout, but the 16 pound has the weaker layout, so it should end up hooking about the same. I'm definitely gonna have to move right though, because these 78 hardness are going to hook less. That's also about where I try to throw my weak Purple Hammer, and you can see the 78 urethane just has that less overall hook and can get through it from there. Here's a 16 pound one, which actually has double the differential as the 15 pound one, but just a weaker layout, so I'm gonna end up standing in the same spot. You can kind of see how they do a very similar thing overall, but this one hooks a little bit earlier and lays off, whereas that one has a bit more continuation down lane because that extra differential and the weaker layout combination. Make a good shot and put some pressure on me. I say that one doesn't have as much continuation, but it has no problem getting through the pins. That's another 5x4 by -1 layout, and like I said, pretty good layout. We'll see if this one can show up, or if I can show up, we'll see. Either one. We roll on. One ball roll off to break the tie. A little right. You can see I got it up the lane a little bit, and it kind of struggled to get back in that oil. 15 pound 78 moves on. Now for the fun urethane balls. Do I think the overseas urethane balls are substantially different in any way? Not necessarily. I think the Purple Hammers are really good, obviously. I think the 78s are really good too. And so these are more just fun, honestly. I like a pretty looking bowling ball, and the overseas ones, they look pretty. So fun to throw. I'm gonna start with the magenta urethane, which is a pretty weak overseas urethane ball, which should be pretty much between the two 78s, and I'll stand in the same spot. There we go. You can see that pretty smooth, controllable motion, pretty weak. Allows me to keep my angles a little bit more in front of me, controls the lane pretty good. Now we have kind of the outlier of all these urethane balls. This is a red ASIM urethane ball. So it's actually got an asymmetrical core in it, which makes it stand up a little bit harder, but also has a little bit more hook potential overall. I'm gonna have to move left on this one. I'm probably gonna move a full 4 boards, which for a urethane ball, that's a lot of boards. It was a good move, hit the pocket, but a little unlucky break for that one, honestly. More important than the ball motion, of course, is just how cool it looks going down the lane and how lucky it is. Because I think I'm a lucky person in general, so it doesn't hurt to have a few balls that I think also get a little lucky. Ooh, 2 strikes, and it's pretty unfortunate for this one, but I'm going to throw it again because it's fun to throw. Well, would have lost either way, but that's a fun one to throw. It's a pretty niche ball, but if it strikes, it strikes. Now we'll go back to purple versus purple, and we'll start with the strong layout purple pin. This one might be where it starts bailing a little down lane. Now we'll give the 19 purple a try. This one I think will get a little bit more down lane, and we might be able to see this one have a better chance of striking. Oh boy, pretty unlucky break for the 2019 purple, but kind of see that more continuation down lane. But if I can throw a strike with this one, I can put the pressure on the 19 purple. That's pretty bad count. That one can be really good, but once it starts carrying down and there's a ton of hook in the fronts, this one's gonna see that hook in the fronts because it hooks so early, and it's a little bit harder to get it to move down lane. If I really tried to, I could tweak with it, I could throw it slower, I could try to hit it a little bit more at the bottom, but it's gonna struggle a lot more than the 19 purple, and I don't need too great of count to beat it. I'm actually gonna make a move left with this one and throw it slower just to kind of test and see what this ball can do. Yeah, that one gets to the front a bit more, and I'm not afraid of it moving down lane because it has that a little bit more continuation. Now we've got a really interesting one, the 78 versus the overseas magenta, which are both my weakest urethane balls. Maybe they're just good, or maybe they match up on this pattern, but they're doing a bit of striking right now, so I'll pretty much stand in the same spot I was standing earlier, probably throw a little bit faster though. Although these balls are a little bit weaker, sometimes they can still see it so much in the front and force you far enough right that they'll end up overhooking. This one should be a little bit cleaner through the fronts, so it actually might have an advantage over the 78 right now. I sent this 78 a little bit further right, so in fairness, I tried to send that one a little bit further right, but it got right because this one hooked before it ended up getting in the gutter. That one pushed through it a bit and still kind of moved down lane. Well, we're gonna need a strike for sure with the 78. Try to throw this one a little bit faster even. Okay, the faster move worked. That is so unfortunate though. A log like that, I should give it extra points for a log. Comment down below if when I'm doing stuff in the future, if I should give extra points for how cool the strike looks. If I send a nice log, give it a few extra pins, maybe. Well, we're gonna try to do the same thing with these balls and playing this far right. Anything can really happen because if it doesn't see it in the front the right way, it might never hook, and if it sees it too early in the front, it could hook. Oh my God, well that's a loser. I don't think that one was that bad. It actually got quite a bit further left than the last one and just ended up never seeing it. I'm not counting a washout as a split either. Some shots it ends up hooking, and then some shots it shoots through it completely. Well, that's a surprise, but 78 wins. We have the 19 purple versus the 15-pound 78. We'll give the 19 purple a shot first, and I think this is where it's gonna shine the most, just because I'm gonna throw it a little bit slower. It should get around the corner better than any other urethane ball. Oh my God. Yeah, you can just see that slow ball speed. Lets it around the corner, and this one hooks down lane. It recovers from there, which is surprising. We're gonna have to throw a few more logs with this one. Yeah, I mean, by the time I've thrown this many urethane balls down the lane, this one's gonna struggle a little bit, especially since some of these are a lot stronger than the 78s, so it's just gonna end up making this one look worse over time. All right, strike here, and the 2019 purple wins it. Oh my. And it comes back. That is a good urethane ball for moving left when there's a carry down, just because you can throw it slower, you can smack on it and send it right, and I know it'll recover. This one is gonna be great on the fresh, gonna be great on shorter patterns, so I think it looks pretty good early, but once they get to this spot, that 19 purple is gonna have enough down lane to take a pretty good beating to the 78 urethane. Since the 19 purple won the bracket, we're going to do a first 2-3 strikes with this ball against my favorite purple that I've thrown quite a few 300s with and a few 800s too. So definitely a tough competitor, but this one's looking pretty good right now. I'll let the 19 purple go first. Hook, hook, hook. Not my best shot. You can see I kind of miss up the lane, and it still gets back, but it does labor a little bit in all that carry down. Now going with my favorite one. This one does hook a bit, but it sees it very early, and that's why I like it, because I have that faster ball speed, but we're gonna try to hook it a bit, throw it a bit slower, see if we can get off of it. You see the difference? Still struggling to get back a little bit, but that's a strike. That is a strike for the 19 purple. A little bit right, but it hooks early enough, it gets off of it, and it gets 10 pins down. You can see the difference between the two, because this one hooks in the oil and then it's smooth off of it when I get it right and still strikes, whereas that one hits the friction and it just tries to jump off of it a little too quick and overhooks. I don't think this purple hammer is going to leave my bag anytime soon, so let's throw a final strike with it and see why it's so good. Oh, that's not very good. That's a good way to end. That is a good way to end. 3 strikes to 1. My favorite purple remains my favorite purple, but there are definitely a lot of different shapes and a lot of different reasons why I might throw these other balls. If you want to see more from me, subscribe and comment down below what you guys want to see with urethane balls, with reactive balls, backup balls, high speed, low speed. Let me know what you guys want to see, and I'll see you in the next video.